isn't there any way the town board can sit down and just talk with Mac and Julie and Aaron and Christina? I mean, Christina's the one that ran the bar. That was part of the problem. Coyote Moon was the president of TPAC. Had nothing to do with him. That's a very much a conflict of interest, in my opinion. And if he goes to Coyote Moon, that's also a conflict of interest, in my opinion. So you've got a board of people, and then you've got the village that subsidizes this. They don't pay rent, do they? Much. They don't pay utilities. This is our tax money. It's not the high and mighty up on the third floor. It's us that are paying their salaries, paying the rent, paying when they leave windows open and busting water pipes. That's our money. We support this 100%. I'm in the community band. I'm here once a week. And I thank you folks and everybody for paying for me to come play in this. But there is no reason that he should be treated like that. It's not the Navy anymore. You don't do a 4-page debrief and ignore the person that supposedly is committing all the infractions. I went through that list. Majority were the bar. Yeah. It's not going to be a bar. Maybe somebody puked in the bathroom. Maybe they're sneaking stuff in from O'Brien's. That happens every show. You go over with a water bottle, it gets full, it comes back. Everybody knows that. It's not Mac's fault. Yeah, it's Mac's fault. But a cleaning crew, yes. I don't know what the contract says. Did he have a cleaning crew? Were you supposed to provide one?
There should be a cleaning crew.
But what did your contract say?
It should clean, and it was clean. But that was the problem. There was no debate on whether it was clean or not. It was just, it was dirty, and
okay.
There was puke downstairs, and there was sticky floors. And,
again, there's so much conflict in that debriefing that somebody who's representing our tax money should sit down with these two groups and say, let's hammer it out. Let's not, we got Fairview, we're getting crapped on. We got the TIN, they're getting crapped on. Clayton looks like crap right now. And I'm being nice because my father's right there. That's not the word I would use. But this is ridiculous. We're not helping ourselves. We've got so much to offer here. And you're pounding your pen, or you're laughing at this, you're laughing at that. Let's just get together. Somebody, no.
Because I think that, first of all, I'd like to contest that Clayton is not correct. Okay? Okay, so.
I've been here a long time too. Yeah. But we're getting bad press.
Regarding this, you have to, it's a tough situation in that they are our tenant.
Exactly, and you're the landlord. Right.
And they manage the business, and which we got to be very careful of, is whether we all agree or disagree with Mac in the situation. We have to be very careful getting involved in their business.
Nobody's asking you to get involved, but sit down and say.
Hold on, I'm not done. So
okay.
what I would suggest is that talk to their board.
Who, Mac?
No, well.
He's tried, I believe.
You're all of them.
I asked to talk to their board.
Yeah, and perhaps they're the ones that should be, what you're saying with regards to the Country Jam, they're the ones that should be hearing it.
I understand.
It's nice that we can hear it, and you know, I'm sure that everybody in our own way will pass that along. But it's a slippery slope if we pressure them in any way. And I hope you can understand that. I understand the tax dollars. I get that. Nobody's
talking
about tax dollars, okay?
Right.
Trust me. Come to our budget sessions. You'll see that.
I've seen some online.
So, but it's a very slippery slope for us to pressure TPAC, because what's next? Where does it stop? Right?
Well, the contract should when?
We haven't pressured them, as I understand it, since they've been in business, and it's worked out pretty well.
When's their contract up?
Year and a half.
So I thought it was this year.
Chris, why are some of the people from that organization not here listed? What were you?
I don't know.
They were all invited, and they decided not to come.
I mean, that's their interest in the community.
Yes.
Well, I can't speak for them, but I think that you have to reach out to them, and
why?
Maybe it's not just Mac reaching out.
We've sent emails.
They didn't reach out to Mac, other than
I tried to reach out.
that he had to request.
Do they have any responsibility as a public board to make their meetings open to the public? I mean, is there any kind of stipulation that they have as an organization?
Only with money that comes in. Yo, Andrew.
There we go.
My name's Andrew Wood. I was a former board member. I've been with TPAT board. I was on it for 4 years. Worked with Mac for all 4 of those years, at least knowing how it was all working through a number of executive directors and through the board. Answer your question, it's a nonprofit board. It's not public. Things that are not public. So you don't open your meetings to the public.
So they don't have any transparency, even though.
They do, in that they're nonprofits, so you can see their financials, you can see their income tax return, but it's not it's a private organization. It's not a public organization. So you can't just say we want to come to your meeting. I am a little disappointed that nobody from the board is here, because this is important that the community is saying something that they want to have here. Myself, not being on the board, not having any influence on the board, disagree with them for saying don't have the Country Jam here. It's been known for 5 years. It's a really important event, and I think that they should be working with him, figuring out how to deal with that. The hard thing about running a theater and running it is you've got all these different people coming through, artists coming through, you've got renters coming through, you've got weddings coming through. Some of the people are going to be difficult. Jack, you know that. I mean, you've dealt with all sorts of different people from promotion.
I had 6 executive directors in 5 years here.
Yeah, it's been 4, but yeah, I was an interim director.
Well, I'm talking interims, from Amy to Lisa to you to Aaron to Joe to Julie. 6 in 5 years.
So they all have to work with each of these artists and promoters that come in. Some are easy, some are not. But you have to learn how to work with them. That's the trick. So yes, they should be sitting down with you, talking about it, and figuring out how to make the problems that happen and fix them. If there's still a problem with tickets is the only issue, it's fixable. It's not that hard to do.
On the debrief memo, they actually had suggestions to make it all better.
Yep.
And every one of them I agree with, except for they don't understand how I do my tickets.
Right.
They think that everything should be sold through here. I couldn't sell out 2 shows if I had to sell everything through this box office.
And it's not complicated what you want to do. It just has to be worked with. And so I think the best influence people can have is, yes, you send emails. I would send emails to the board. You get the address. Everything you want to know about TPAP is online. Go to their website.
Except their email addresses, they aren't on there.
No, but it's here.
I
It's
sent a private message on
claytonoperahouse.com.
Facebook.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Tell them what your concern is. Be factual. Tell them this is why we are concerned about it, and let them know. The more they see, they'll get passed around, the board will see it, and they will respond to it. So you can have influence if they see enough of it. Certainly the paper is going to have influence. The Washington Times today, I'm sure, scared them like crazy. So they should be responding to that. So there is a way of doing that. You can find out who all the board members are by going online. It's all right there.
And before I sit down, I want to apologize to Chris if you thought I said Clayton was crap, or if that did come out that way. I've been here for 50 some odd years, we won't go into detail, but what we're showing the outside world is starting to look like crap.
I agree.
It is. It's not good for us. It's embarrassing. So, I will sit down.
Woo!